Hi guys, welcome to Scarbeck Studio. My name is Sarah and normally on this channel I teach you how to sew, but not today. Today I'm going to show you the behind the scenes of making a sewing pattern. So there is a skirt and this is the inspo that I'm going for. I essentially want to make this skirt but better, and by better I mean I want to make this skirt with pockets. Some of you don't know this, but I'm a pattern maker and I have Etsy store where I sell my sewing patterns. I've been wanting to make this type of skirt for a few seasons now, and I thought such a good opportunity to just take you along the journey and show you how I work on a pattern like this, how long it takes, the behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff, so you can understand the process and maybe you can learn something about sewing and all that kind of stuff. So this is basically what this video is going to be about. I will stop talking now because I need to start working on the pattern. I'll see you in a second. For this skirt, the most important part is the waistband. I made 2 different samples, and the first sample that I made was wider and it also was low waist, because initially I wanted the skirt to be low waist, like true low waist. But then I realized that I don't think a lot of people will like it. I think a lot of people get a little nervous about low waist. So I thought, you know what, let's just make it a little bit higher, mid-rise. Mid-rise will work well. So this is the second sample. It's very similar to the third one. It was just a touch higher. I was like, you know what, let's just make it true mid-rise. So then I made a third sample and this is what I'm going to go with. I am set on the waistband. It's ready. And now what I have to do is drape the skirt. Well, I'm not going to drape it, but I'm going to just try it on a mannequin right now quickly just to see how full I want the skirt to be. And once I figure it out, I'm going to start making a pattern for the skirt. So let's do it. Okay, a random thought, but I think this looks kind of good. Yeah, let's just leave it like this right now. I could make it with like a bow in the back and maybe add some shirring, or I could make it like a halter top. That would be probably very easy for a lot of you to make. If I have enough time on the weekend, I might just make this dress. I'll work on that later. The skirt, the fullness of a skirt is pretty good. So here's what I'm thinking, because if I want to give you an option to have a bubble hem skirt as well, I might need a little bit more fullness. If I want to make it really full, I could do a circle, but I don't think this is what I'm going for. So let's try it. I'll see how this looks like, and if I'm not satisfied, then I'm going to change it. Good morning. It's another day, and today I'm going to finish making the skirt. I didn't finish it yesterday. I went on a walk and then we met some friends. My husband and I. So now I gotta finish the skirt. If it works well, then I'm going to go to a fabric store, take you with me, and I'll show you what fabric I'm thinking about. Fun fact, overnight I thought about this dress and it's not gonna look like this, but I have an idea for a really cool dress that I think a lot of you will like. So if you're into that, stay tuned for that because this is probably going to be my next project. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is finish the skirt, and there are 2 different ways to make this skirt. The first one is you can just cut a big rectangle, as big as you want it to be, and gather it at the waist then pin it to the waistband, stitch it, and the skirt is basically ready. It is a really simple and effective way to do it. But because this is a shaped or curved waistband, I think it's called curved, I always say shaped. It's curved waistband. I prefer to do it a little bit differently. I am going to work on a basic skirt block. So what I'm going to do is slash my pattern in few places. So basically on a grain line. So just slash it a few times and I'm going to spread it around, pin it in place. So I'll create a new piece. This is how pattern making works. You basically work on basic blocks and manipulate them to make something new out of them. It's not that easy as it seems like. But this pattern is not the hardest. Anyways, all right, let's go and do it. I'm drinking some green tea from Poland. It's so amazing. I talked to some friends yesterday, by the way, and they told me that tea has caffeine. And I drink like 9-10 cups a day. Is that bad? Hi guys, so I just finished sewing the skirt. It looks really good. And bear in mind, this is just a sample, so it doesn't look perfect. But with this sample, I just wanted to make sure that the shape is correct and that overall it looks good. And obviously later I'll change the length, I'll change the fabric, I'll add the zipper and all that kind of stuff. I'll hem it so it'll look better. Right now, the length, I don't love the length of it, but I'm gonna show it to you how it looks like. And again, like I said, I'm really happy with it. And the cool thing about this skirt is that it's quite easy to make, especially for those of you who are learning how to sew and want to sew something that's a little bit more challenging, but not too challenging, if it makes sense, because you can customize it. You don't have to add pockets. You don't have to add lining if you don't want to, but if you want to, you can. So I know there are a lot of brands, a lot of designer brands that make those kind of skirts, and they are hundreds of dollars. And it's just way cheaper to sew yourself, and it's really easy. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you how it looks like. Again, remember, it's going to look different later, so don't judge. So this is how the skirt looks like, and I think it looks really, really nice. It's not, I don't have a zipper, so I just pin it here. However, it looks really good. As you can see, the waist is lowered because normally the waist is here. Obviously, everybody's a little different, so it might hit you a little lower, a little higher, depends on the person, but I would consider it a mid-rise. If you want a low rise, just you can make a size bigger and it's gonna work. So this is how it looks like. I'm going to later add pockets, but obviously that's going to be with the final design, and lining for some of you who wants to use lining, and option to make it a bubble hem skirt. That's the goal. So I'm going to show you two options. Again, the pattern will be available on my Etsy soon. A little bit better angle. I look a little tragic today, but it's okay. So I'm going to go to a fabric store in a second, take it with me, and just maybe I can find something nice. The sad part about fabric store is that there was this huge warehouse with a ton of fabric that closed down, I think, last year, and they have 2 more locations. They are very far from me. Not very far, but they're, you know, like an hour and a half drive. So I will probably go there soon, but today I'm gonna go to a smaller fabric store that is amazing. Maybe I'll be able to find what I want. So before I go to a fabric store, I'm going to quickly add extra 20-25 centimeters to the hem, so I can calculate correctly how much fabric I need, because I don't want to buy way too much. So for this skirt, I needed fabric that will be a little heavier, and I needed fabric that will also be able to hold structure. So I thought that taffeta might be a good choice. This store had a lot of silk taffeta, which was amazing, but I thought it was a little bit too shiny, so I decided to keep looking. I went to see if they have some polyester taffeta, and they had a bunch, but it all was too shiny and I just didn't really like it. So I thought, you know what, let's just work with some cotton, and their cotton section is phenomenal. However, it was really hard to find something that will be able to hold that structure and something that will not wrinkle really easily. So I ended up finding the right fabric, but it took me 4 hours. I'm not even kidding. It was a little bit dramatic. I was so tired and I was a little angry because I wanted a color that will be solid, and I didn't want any pattern on it, but I ended up getting fabric with a little pattern on it, which is fine, but it was not necessarily what I was going for. But this is what it is sometimes. When you go to a fabric store, you never know what they will have. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. Now I have to make lining. Normally, when you want to use lining for your projects, you just have to copy the main fabric, main outer layer. You could make it shorter. I'll teach you this in the future. But in this specific design, I want lining to be different. I want the skirt to be less flared. I'm going to draft separate lining just for this particular project. It's going to be obviously shorter. It should work really well. Yeah, this is going to take me all day. I couldn't do it earlier because I didn't have enough paper. Went to the fabric store and got my pattern making paper. Let's go. Okay, let's go. I added pocket just to see if it will work well, and I think it does. It's a very simple design. Skirts with pockets are just amazing. I think I'm going to move it about 4 centimeters higher. So I moved the pocket higher. This is more comfortable, at least for me. Amazing. Very simple pocket, simple little addition. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. I think it's going to make the skirt even better. So that's what I'm going to do. Hello, Piper. Hey. She really doesn't like to be held. I finished prototyping everything yesterday. I made a pattern, made lining, pockets, all that kind of stuff. So today I'm gonna sew it. I'm gonna show you this sample one more time in a second. The sample is a little different than an actual product. At the end, I'm gonna show you how the actual skirt will look like. This is the prototype. I really like it. I don't love the length personally, so that's why the actual skirt will be 25 centimeters longer. I just pinned it on a side because I didn't want to sew a zipper. Later, what I'm going to give you an option. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put zipper in the back because I want to give you an option to insert pockets. That's why I don't want any zipper on a side. Guys, this skirt turned out so well. It's literally perfection. I can't wait to share the tutorial with you. Actually, let me show you a little bit. Let me put you here. I don't know why, I think this angle is kind of cool. So a little sneak peek. The fabric I chose is fantastic. I'm gonna share everything in the next video. The skirt it's everything I've always wanted. I feel like a fairy wearing this skirt. I think I'm gonna make it in 20 different colors. I am obsessed. So if you like the skirt, then definitely subscribe because the video is coming next week with a tutorial where I show you every little detail, how I make this skirt so you'll be able to make it for yourself. And I'm also going to make a shirt that goes with the skirt for beginners. So there'll be another video coming on that, but it's not ready yet. And if you're interested in sewing the skirt Next week, there will be video. I just need to grade this skirt and also write some instructions. But I gotta say that this skirt is so comfortable. It's truly fantastic and I can't wait to share it with you. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.